First of all, let me thank the government of Netherlands for generously undertaking to co-host this lunch. We very much appreciate this gesture. We have an intensive day and a half ahead of us, and the context for the Barbershop conference is the 20th anniversary of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. One key element of the Platform for Action is the elimination of violence against women. We are convinced that we will not eliminate violence against women or achieve gender equality unless we get men involved. Indeed, we see this conference as closely aligned with the He4She initiative of UN Women. I look forward to our discussions here today and the high level even tomorrow. And allow me to thank you, the permanent representatives, in particular for taking the time to attend this session. I believe that the participation of permanent representatives is crucial. You are the opinion shapers and game changers in the UN system and more widely. And I say this as a minister. Who would believe that? Your engagement will, I hope, have a ripple effect far beyond the walls of this room. Meanwhile, I hand over to my colleague, Minister Arna from Suriname. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellencies, first let me join my colleague, Minister Svensson, in welcoming you to this lunch and echo his words of thanks to the government of Netherlands. I also have the pleasure of acknowledging the generous contribution made by Turkey to this conference, and we would like to thank the permanent representative of Turkey for his efforts in support of this initiative. We also thank the permanent missions of Argentina and Sweden for their valuable support. Just a word on why this is a barbershop conference. The barbershop is the men's talking shop par excellence. In the typical barbershop, men talk among themselves freely on life, death, women, probably a bit of sport, and hopefully politics. Discussions among men play a key part in reinforcing attitudes and passing on views on what it means to be a man. We will be at Real Barbershop this evening when you attend the reception. At this lunch session, we are putting ourselves in the capable hands of Professor Michael Kimmel. Michael Kimmel is Professor of Sociology at Stony Brook University in New York and has many years' experience as an academic in the field of men and masculinities. We will also have the assistance of a number of permanent representatives. We have kindly agreed to moderate discussions at each table. But before opening the substantive discussions, it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce Madam Phumzile Mlambo Guko, Executive Director of UN Women. Ms. Phumzile hardly needs an introduction. She has steered UN Women with inspiration since 2013, bringing with her a rich experience in the private and public sectors. I would also like to extend thanks on behalf of Suriname and Iceland for the excellent cooperation with UN Women in organizing this conference. Madam Phumzile, the floor is yours. May I invite you?
to us, it's an incredibly powerful symbol of how feminine is this idea, this acceptance finally that women's gender and growing hair.
Advocating for real change project, and every month we have something we call sacred for organizing this important event. Barbershop in promoting and encouraging respect for human rights and for very often men who are doing diplomacy. So I think.
Wonderful. Wow.
Very dynamic.
Drink that, guys.
I want to hear. Oh, absolutely.
I have to. It's so small. I can't sit down for me.
What's that? What on the chair on the left, he's the chair.
So I just wanted to welcome you all, and please.
Thank you so much, Minister.
I think we got you there.
Right. Modu Cham here from the United Nations Barbershop Conference, African Connect, speaking to Miss Greta, Ambassador. Can you please introduce yourself, your country, and tell us about the Barbershop Conference?
I am the former ambassador here to the United Nations, and we took this initiative together, Iceland and Suriname, to engage men and boys in discussion on gender equality, in particular to end violence against women. And I think we have had extremely successful 2 days. It was the whole day yesterday, and now we just finished the high-level event. And I think everybody who participated brought good messages into the discussion, and I think all of us will go from here much richer and with a lot of guidance on how to take this issue forward. And I think also there was such a commitment and interest in the matter, equally I think among the men and the women. So because in the end it will be a conversation among all of us, and I really think this will make a difference. I really do think so.
Please let us know what the next steps are, because sometimes we have these big conferences, but the next step is not actually, we really don't know what the next steps are in moving forward.
There will be next steps. I mean, first of all, we had the commitments by the ambassadors at the meeting and the ministers, and we have had a lot of people signing on to He4C today, and I'm sure we had that also around the world. And we will carry this forward. I know that Iceland and Suriname, we will definitely carry this forward, take initiatives here in-house, and with the cooperation of all these people that did participate. And I think we have 2 platforms now. I mean, of course we have the He4C, and that is something, I mean, this is sort of a contribution to that also, and that is something that is already there and will continue. Then we have the CSW, the Commission on the Status of Women, meeting next, well, in March, and this can be discussed there. And also we have the post-2015 negotiations where this needs to be discussed as well.
Wonderful. As a young man, what do I need to do to make sure that I am doing my part in this fight? Because this is a fight for the long run. It's not something that will be solved in the next 2-3 years. This is something we need to work on for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And I think people are actually starting to understand that. But just give me some valuable examples of what I can do to make sure that this keeps moving forward.
I think, for every person to be as true to themselves as possible and to have a starting point that we are all equal. No matter what gender or color or religion, we are all equal. And when we start from there, I think we will have a good end result.
Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
So much.
Thank you.
The first act I do, he or she.
Good morning. President of the General Assembly, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished guests and undistinguished guests. It is great to have you here for the finale of the Barbershop Conference.
Thank you very much, Simona. A he for she is simply a man who supports women's human rights. I myself and the government of Suriname commit that we will continue to support women's human rights. Let me take this opportunity to also say something in Dutch, since I know it's live in Dutch on the Surinamese television, STVS. Ik roep hierbij alle Surinamers maar op om te gaan naar de website www.heforshe.org en om onderdeel te zijn van die wereldbeweging van mannen die opkomen voor vrouwenrechten. En dank u wel.
In he for she, us as UN women getting out of our comfort zone as well. Because for UN women, our job can be narrowly defined as that of working with women. So what are we doing working with men? We realize that in the bigger picture, this is a joint responsibility of both sexes. So in he for she, step 1, we ask you to make a decision to commit to an active role to end patriarchy. So which means that even before a person signs and presses the button, even if you've done it, it's always good to reflect. It's important to reflect what is it actually that I'm going to do different. Many of the people who have signed are already gender conscious. They don't beat up women, probably, I think most of them. But there's much more that you can do because we live in a system that is patriarchal. So everybody has some homework to do to support the change of the system. So if you're a CEO, you can address the gender area. You can make sure that if you're at home, you can address the issue of an inculcate work and how it is distributed more to the women. There's a number of activities that all of us can undertake. So that by the time we sign, there's a program of action that you are implementing because you are a he for she. Because if we don't couple he for she signatory with action, we actually diminish the commitments that we are making. The height of this commitment is going to be the action and the consistency and the resilience that will come out of it. And of course, step 3, use the donate button generously. There is a donate button there. And of course, take the action and stay with the cause until we've been able to see the changes. Because there was no revolution and fundamental change of society that is achieved in a short term. So we're in this for the long haul. And it's not going to be always nice. And sometimes we have to give up some of the privileges that we have. And we know that many of you would have thought about these things, and that is what is going to make you role models. And we would like that you share your stories so that you can upload them on our website, so that through your stories you'll be educating others, so that, and we'd like to change these stories and continuously change the stories so that when every time you get into the website, there's a fresh story that you're going to read. And I'd love to read.
I'm not here because I feel sorry for women who do not have access to education. I'm here because I think it is unjustifiable that people can be denied education because of a single different proposal. A 13-year-old boy from New Jersey came to be interested in the issue of women's education. Well, the answer is simple. I went to school. My school challenged pupils to support a cause. And while researching the cause, I came across a sad but inspiring story of Malala. So, I held a fundraiser. I made people aware, and I raised enough money to send 18 girls to school for 1 year.
Wow.
Did I change the world? No. I wish I did. Did I make a difference? Yes. To those 18 girls, that 1 year of education made all the difference in the world. So, the question is, how do we get more boys my age to care about girls' education? I don't think it is difficult. I think boys, just like me, would care very much if we could just see the problem. They're simply not aware. So, let's make more boys aware. Let's teach the subject in classrooms. Let's use social media in schools to allow all school kids to ask questions, and even video conference with children just like me, but who have been denied education because of their gender or their cultural norms. And most importantly, let's make sure every dad in the world can teach their sons the importance of women's education as well. Because I hope that if we can change the ways boys think today, when I'm a grown man, we won't need a barbershop conference like this one anymore.
Equality in my working environment, including further integrating gender equality into practical actions. Thank you, and I love you so much.
I commit to raising awareness of the He for She campaign on social media of our mission. I commit to keep gender equality as a key priority in the work of our mission and to maintain my personal engagement with culture. And as a father, and perhaps this is most important for me, I commit to raise my voice into men respectful of women as equal partners and my baby daughter in a firm conviction of her worth as a human being whose equality cannot be questioned by anyone.
My government will continue to be committed to promote gender equality and empowerment of women, to support UN Women, and to promote this agenda here in the UN. We are committed to host a conference in February in the Netherlands on women, peace and security, and to organize a preparatory event next week here on Tuesday. I'm personally committed also to continue to promote the He for She campaign, gender equality, and women empowerment through my personal Twitter account. And I am committed to continue to thank Iceland and Suriname for organizing this great barbershop conference. Dank u wel, tak voor
I swear on Article 25 of the new Tunisian constitution, which says that all citizens, men and women, are equal in rights and duties, and that they are equal towards the law without discrimination. On this basis, as permanent representative of Tunisia in the United Nations, I commit to request all male staff, 50% of my staff, other lazy members of the mission, to sign on to He for She and to incorporate further the concept into the mission's working methods, including by raising awareness of gender inequalities and women empowerment with delegates covering all the GS6 committees. So I commit to raising awareness for the He for She campaign in my country through the mission social media, and you have much more signatories for my country by March 20. Thank you.
Mother is no more with us, but she did so much for our family. Sister and wife are still there. They're still gone. But they also have done so much for me. I want to reciprocate. My two daughters have taken independent decisions. I respect that and respect them. I am taking the most concrete step in the He for She campaign by vacating my present post next month, so that I see a person, a she or a representative for the first time